else is just going to come into play and it's all going to work nicely.
And the basics would be like how to run the ropes properly, how to take a bump.
The headlocks, the takeovers, shoulder tackles, all that stuff makes sense, and it all ties together.
Because a shoulder tackle can lead to one sweet move after the other, right?
And the other thing for me was, like I was telling one of the students on the way here, like the day I walked in the wrestling school, I felt like I made it. The day I got booked on a normal BCW show, I felt like I made it. The day, you know what I mean? So always check yourself. You know what I mean? Like always check yourself and be like, yo, this is a big deal that I'm doing this next thing. You know what I mean? And don't let it go to your head. You know what I mean? But always be as excited for the little opportunities as much as you are the big ones. And I mean, then the other thing would be just don't give up. Like I know that's cliche again, but there's going to be times that something will shock you that you thought you were going to be able to do easy, or maybe you're good at everything else, but that one thing, you know what I mean? Something like a hip toss is hard. So if it's that one thing that you can't get, just don't let it get to you. Keep fighting, man. Keep
fighting, keep practicing, keep learning, because you'll get it.
Yeah.
So in terms of goals,
yes.
When you walked in that wrestling school for the first time, what was back then Aiden Prince's goal, and has it changed since then? Honestly,
man, my goal walking into that school, because at the time I walked in there, I knew of TNA and Can-Am being involved with it and stuff, but it was never my goal. Like, honestly, my goal was to be able to say I'm a pro wrestler. And, like, because, you know, a lot of people won't tell people and stuff. It's like, I am proud that I get to say I'm a pro wrestler now. So it's like, that's all it was, man, was be able to put pro wrestler, you know, on my name in some way, and just know that, you know, all those years of, you know, telling my principals that, yo, I don't care about this place, or, you know, my mom saying, you know, you're a loser at this time of my life, and like those type of things. So it's like, just to keep doing things. That was always my thing. So my biggest goal now is just let the snowball keep rolling. I've been blessed with opportunities that, like, honestly, I never ever expected, that I would have been happy without. And I was given these opportunities that, like, it's insane, man. It's insane. I get speechless talking about it, because it's like, honestly, at the end of the day, my goal was just to be a wrestler. And I feel that, like, Josh's speech hit me at the last Destiny show, because he talked about, and it wasn't about making it, it was about just becoming a pro wrestler and getting in a ring and tearing it up. And that's honestly my goal. You know,
is your goal to stay Canadian, or is your goal to try to go abroad when and if the opportunity arises?
Like, I mean, right now, like, it's so hard with the border and stuff like that, right? So I try to stay in Canada. And the other part of things is, too, is a guy like Josh has proven it. You know, Canada's booming. And there's a lot out there that we can do here. And it's going to start with guys like us that want to help it grow and do those type of things and get more eyes on Canada. And I think that's what Destiny's doing. You know?
Destiny's doing a great job. Yeah. George has one heck of a wrestling mind. Yeah. He's busy. Sometimes it's hard to get a hold of him, especially if you're a lonely podcast guy. Hint, George.
Funny, he messages me all the time. I don't know.
Strikes a chord. No, but you know what? Yeah, and that's kind of what the goal was for us. When we started very, here's Raw and SmackDown results. We started super green because we didn't know our audience. And now we find that we have a lot of fans. We have a lot in Canada, but our U.S. fan base is growing. Mm-hmm. And I think the reason it's growing is because we're educating them on what's north of the border. Yeah. Get off your butts, get off your couches, tear yourself away from the WWE product. Yeah. Come out to an indie show and see what these guys are doing. Yeah. And now that you guys are locked in with Fight TV, you're getting to reach a whole nother global audience.
Which I've noticed myself, so it's very nice. Yeah.
And question: Do you ever find when a fan marks out on you, like when a fan comes out, it's like, oh my God, dude's Aiden Prince. Man. Do you kind of catch yourself back and be like, oh yeah, that I am. Like, do you find yourself when a fan comes and it's like, have you ever had a fan react to you in a way? It's like, oh my God, I can't believe I met you. Is that a surreal moment for you?
It is. And I bring it back to, again, you know, it's like, yo, I'm as grateful for that kid as they are for me. Like I said, that's like a few shows back, like some girl straight up, like, Justin Bieber'd out. Like, she was going crazy. And I
do have the Bieber haircut. I do a little bit.
But I walked away and it was like, yo, my life is awesome. Like, it was just like those little things, you know what I mean? Where maybe that would annoy some people, but to me, it's the coolest thing in the world.
And relationships-wise, because you did mention that. You mentioned that sometimes relationships are hard. Yeah. Because you may get involved with someone and they don't really understand your passion, or they don't understand this business.
Yes.
Like I'm blessed that my wife is as much of a diehard wrestling fan as me. Yeah. But I have some friends who I've known forever who still kind of make fun of me or geek out. It's like,
I get it, man.
dude, you're going to a wrestling show? It's like,
get
I am. Well, it's just two guys, doing choreographed moves. I'm like, okay, I get it. That's your generic answer. Yeah. But if you pull the curtain back a little bit and you know all the work that those guys put in to get to those choreographed moves, if you will, okay, sometimes the winner's determined, but half the time the match is not determined.
Right, man. Yeah,
they say, okay, listen, he's going to win. He's going to win in 22 minutes. Get me from 1 to 22, but he wins.
Yep.
And that's fine. Yep. We accept that. We know that's part of the business. Right. But when you have a girl, like you take a girl on the first date and she goes, so what do you do? I'm a pro wrestler.
It's funny. I throughout wrestling training, I trained very hard for 3-4 days a week for 2 years straight. And then right around the time I was about to graduate and have my first match, I met my girlfriend now. So she came to my first show. And I remember we sat down our first date. I went off. I went through the list of things. I'm like, I barely have an education. I'm a pro wrestler. I don't know how much money that's ever going to make me. If you choose to, tell me I'm not allowed to do this or anything like that, you can, pick up your French fries and go now. Because, I've dealt with the people who said this is a joke. I've dealt with the people who said this will never go anywhere. And and she looked at me and said, I support you 100%. And to this day, we're together. So,
it's pretty cool when you find that person who believes in your passion as much as you do.
Yeah.
And that probably ignites the fire even more.
100%, man.
Because now you're not only working for you, but you're working for the future that you're going to have.
Yep. And about a year ago, I was like, you know what? I was working at a gym. I said, screw this, I'm quitting. And, it's a struggle sometimes. But it's like she's supported me completely. So, in the long run, I feel that'll pay off.
And you look at we mentioned a guy like Josh.
Yeah.
Josh has 2 kids. Yeah. 2 small kids. And I know from being on his Facebook and his Instagram and being somebody that's kind of in the outer circle, but I'm working my way in with the bromance.
You're doing good.
But I know that for him, he doesn't have much family time, but when he does, he cherishes it.
Yeah.
Are you ever worried about that moment when it does get serious and maybe there's a baby around the corner, there's a baby already there?
Yeah.
Are you worried about how much time, because you always hear the old school, like anytime somebody goes in the Hall of Fame, and if they're not around, God rest his soul, Big Boss Man was a perfect example. His daughters came out and they said, we loved our dad to death, but just like all of you, we could only hang out with him when he was on TV.
Yeah.
Is that ever something in the back of your head? Like if things get serious,
how
are you going to handle that moment?
Who knows, man? It's like I think it's one of those things where it's like I said, with the opportunities I've been given, I would have never expected. If you told me a year ago you're going to wrestle Tyler Bate, I'm like, nah, nice one, but you know what I mean? Like I would have laughed it off or whatever. So right now it's just it's roll with it. Don't think too far ahead. Just keep being excited and feeling like I made it the next time I'm in there, and just keep trucking along. And if something happens, which I trust me, that's what I want. You know what I mean? But I would hope that and nowadays we're in an era where you can come back home a little easier and those type of things. So,
and you're also in a comfortable position where you can be a little bit more selective on your schedule.
Yeah.
Not too selective, but a little bit more than most guys.
Yeah, exactly. Right. And the time's going to come where I am going to have to work harder and those type of things to get out there, and I'm ready for it. And she knows what this entails, and she knows what I want to do, and she's supported me this long. So,
and it's amazing to have that passion. Like I said, my wife, she supports me through the podcast all the time.
That's great, because that weighs on you, man. Like, if you're feeling, and I'm sure you have this sometimes, like, what am I doing this for? And then you'll talk to her or whatever, and it builds you back up. Where if she agreed with you and said, throw the phone out, and like, stop this, you know what I mean? Like, you might not be so motivated to do it. That's your wife. She's my everything. So it's like if she told me no, nowadays, back then it would have been like, well, then get out of here. But now it's like, ooh, you know what I mean? But
I've got some things to think about.
The fact that she supports me and that type of stuff is phenomenal.
So we talked about the goal, and you said the goal was to always just have pro wrestler beside your name.
Yeah.
But I just got to ask, hypothetical, because I'm a hypothetical guy. I'm a film guy. I'm a movie guy. I'm like I said, I'm a story guy.
Yeah.
If TNA, WWE, if Ring of Honor, if any of them came knocking with a serious offer,
100%, man.
it would be 100% considered.
100%.
But if you had your choice, let's say all 3 offers,
Ooh.
Where I got to put you on the spot. Where would the door you'd want to walk through first go?
I have to say ROH, and the reason I say ROH is because I was such a fan when I was younger, and that's ROH is what broke me out of the WWE bubble.
For me too. I watched Kevin Steen light it up.
Yeah.
And for me, it was a big thing because I'm sitting there, I'm like, he looks just like me.
Yeah.
But he can do way cooler stuff than I can.
Amazing Red and Loki was like where I seen really choreographed craziness and big spots, and Jody Fleisch whacking his shin off the guardrail, and those are the craziest times that broke me out of that bubble, that made me watch that and go, oh man, There's guys even crazier than Jeff Hardy. You know what I mean? That just kind of that would make me look that way. So it has to be ROH just because it's that next thing. You know what I mean? It's like the pro wrestling thing. It's like I have to say I wrestled for ROH. You know what I mean?
So in terms of mentality of right before a match,
yes.
You're standing at the guardrail. Maybe you're doing your little nervous dance.
Yes.
You may go rock. You pour water on your head. Your music hits.
Yes.
What is the last thought that comes through your mind before you pull back that curtain?
Thank you. And I say that because I'm honestly blessed every time I go out there, man. So it's like you'll see, and I've posted it, you'll always see me look up like this, and everybody gives me crap for not looking at the hard cam, but that's me saying thank you because it's honestly, it's the fact that I'm here is the coolest thing ever. And, you know, if you knew me way back in the day, the fact that I'm sitting here is a big thing for me. So the biggest thing is it's like, you know, real me shuts off. Aiden Prince turns on. I'm grateful to be here. And I can't turn and run out that door. So here we go. And that's
once you walk through those ropes, it's like you're in a cage.
Yeah, man. You know, and you've met me now, you know, outside of the ring, and you've met me standing out there. So you can see the difference in me. You know what I mean? A switch flicks, and I'm a different dude. that's. I think for me, like my real name's Mike, you know. But I think for me, Aiden Prince is a different me. It's a different character. It's everything that Mike's not. You know, he's confident. You know, all these girls are looking at him. He's got fans high-fiving him. Like that guy is who I've dreamed to be.
And he did a 450 on four guys.
Did a 450 on four guys. You know what I mean? So it's like that. And then when I come back here, it's like Mike comes back and then thinks about how cool that Aiden Prince guy was. You know what I mean? And then it's crazy, man. I can't even explain it. But yeah.
So in terms of matches,
yes,
because I've seen you do the ground match, I've seen you do the ladder matches, I've seen you do all that kind of stuff. Is there a match, a stipulation match, if you will, that you haven't done that you'd want to do? Yes. Like, let's say, I'll throw out a couple. Falls Count Anywhere, straight up tables match, maybe a hardcore match, maybe a steel cage match. If they ever could do it, some type of a Hell in a Cell type of match. Is there any type of stipulation match that you'd love to sink your teeth into given the opportunity?
There's two.
Okay.
First being a cage match, just because of the Snuka situation.
Of course.
And you know I'm jumping off that thing.
Of course. If you didn't, you wouldn't be a steel cage match.
And I'm going to be super honest here. A hardcore match would be the other one because I've never been a fan of hardcore wrestling. Channing Decker has made me a hardcore wrestling fan. Like, to a T.
It's funny, when we interviewed the Bubblegum Princess, I said to her, we're trying to get Decker on the show, and we will get him.
Oh, you'll get him.
But I said to her, you know, he reminds me of a Mick Foley meets Zach Morris.
Yeah, yeah.
And she laughed. She goes, I'm sure he'd appreciate the Mick Foley part, but come on. The blonde hair, the blue eyes, if that's not Zach Morris. Last time I was here, he was wearing a Mighty Ducks jersey. If that guy's not a 90s kid.
It's a great guy.
I don't know what to say.
He's a wonderful dude. I mean, seeing Decker be able to reinvent himself after the fraternity stuff and everything like that. Like I said, his whole, his vibe, everything. The ECW stuff, all of it. God bless him. He's made me a hardcore wrestling fan. So, I mean, and if I say hardcore match, it would have to be Decker. It would have to be. With love, of course, but I'd kick his ass.
All right, so if you could, if there's a wrestler, past or present, that you could work a program with, if you want to give me one past and one present, I'll take it.
Okay.
But if you're okay to do that?
I already know. Man.
All right, so give me a past wrestler and then a wrestler right now that you'd love to work a program with.
Past would be Paul London. Yeah, Paul London was like he's the reason I do the drop salt. He's where I seen the 450 the first time. Between him and the past one would probably be, God rest his soul, Hayabusa. Because Hayabusa was another one where I seen the 450 the first time. But he had such a cool look about him. He wasn't like a normal mask guy. He kind of reminded me of like a Sabu in a mask, you know what I mean? So, and he's also the first guy who opened me up to Japan and those type of things. So, yeah, it would have to be Hayabusa. But Paul London, I think, is just like the kid in me wants that badge, you know what I mean? And I know he's out there, so it's
anything's possible.
Anything's possible, man.
Anything's possible. If you could promote it the right way, anything's possible.
Exactly.
So in terms of, I guess the one final thing, what is next for Aiden Prince?
Again, man, just evolving. Talking to more guys like you, trying to do more with Destiny. You know, big things are coming in Windsor. Gold, man. I'm BCW Tag Team Champions with Brent Banks.
Saw that. Congratulations.
Thank you. So, I mean, that's just more gold, man. More gold. And tonight's a Blackcraft Tag Team Championship match. So maybe you'll see me there.
That would be pretty awesome.
Maybe you'll see me there.
Pretty awesome. All right, one thing we always like to do for fun at the end of a serious interview, word association.
Okay.
I'm going to throw out
Oh,
wrestlers,
here we go.
past, present, future,
Yes.
and you say the first word